Yo, listen up. We gotta have a real talk about pride and ego, especially when it comes to our relationships. See, we as black men, we carry a lot. And society places weight on us. This idea that we gotta be strong, unbreakable, handle everything on our own. But let me tell you, that ain't always the truth. That ain't the real deal. We build these walls, this armor, and we end up pushing away the very person who's supposed to be our partner, our rock. We get so caught up in proving something that we forget to just be. We forget that we ain't alone.
Ever been left speechless by the ridiculousness of modern dating? Or maybe you're more old school. Yeah, like seriously, what were we thinking with those pickup lines in the 90s? This is I'll Explain All This Later, the podcast where we dissect the crazy world of relationships. From dating app disasters to in-law interventions, we'll cover it all. Now, some of our takes might be a little hot, but hey, that's what you get when you press play and tune in. We'll explain the logic behind it all. Eventually. Anyway, let's dive in.
All right, y'all. Tonight, I got to bring something to the forefront because sometimes it ain't even just a battle within self. It's a battle within your partner because now they have to adjust to your ego, and men and women both do this, but we're going to focus specifically on the men and the women on how it affects them. So tonight, I got one of my good people with me, man. All right. Listen, I don't care how busy this woman is. If I reach out, the love is there. Shout out to her. We've been rocking. I just posted a video of me and you in 2021. Wow. Here we are in 2025. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, man, because she a big deal. So, you know, when the big deal people come on here, they introduce themselves because they do it better than me. Let them know who you is and what we talking about tonight.
I'm not a big deal. Hi, everyone. My name is Regina. I also go by Coach G. I am a podcaster. I'm the host of the Let Me Fix My Crown podcast. I'm also a licensed mental health professional, so I do therapy. And my therapy focuses on helping Black women heal. So I work a lot with Black women. I'm also a manager at a hospital. So yes, while Smash always points out that I'm always so busy, I'm never too busy to help out a friend.
In other words, she just said that she was a big deal without her really saying she was a big deal. All right, so look, right? We got something. We're going to touch on it. So look, right? We got a couple. First of all, Lena is observant. She observes Marcus's increasing emotional burden, feeling helpless and frustrated by his refusal to accept help. Marcus, on the other hand, carries the weight of the relationship's problem, internalizing the pressure to be the strong one and handle everything alone, feeling that if he exposes himself to vulnerability, that he'll seem weak. So the conflict with this is she wants to help, but he doesn't want to take help. It's a battle that men go through a lot. And I was one of those dudes. So as a man in 2025 and beyond and before, society made it extremely hard for men to show a soft side, for men to live in their soft guy era. See, they expect us to be all tough. And yes, that is a thing. There's a such thing as a soft guy era. Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. All of them, whoever. But we always have to play this tough role. We always have to be strong. We can't show weakness. We can't, we have to wear a smile. You know how many times that I've worn a smile to keep from crashing the fuck out when I really want to crash out? So in relationships, I'm different from Marcus, but I'm the same because When I deal with somebody, I expect myself, my own standards. I could never be riding around in somebody's car. I could never be sitting here watching my lady go to work and I just lay back and kick my feet up and play video games. I could never see her working to keep the house in order and I just go around and make a mess. Like, these are things that as a man you should pretty much know. You want to handle everything. But I think sometimes you got to know who your partner is. You got to know who you're picking for your partner. If you can't be vulnerable with your partner, then that's not the partner for you. I ain't even gonna hold you. Coach G,
Yep.
talk to me. What you over there thinking?
Honestly, my take is like you said, pick your partner, know who you're dealing with, know who you're in a relationship with. A lot of times, Black men, African American men, Caribbean men, they're not taught to rest in their soft men era, understanding that they are taught to be protectors and providers. All
Mm,
that soft shit got to go to the back of the back, right? Because you have a certain way that you have to be in the world. You're supposed to present a certain way. You're not supposed to present as vulnerable or weak. Showing those things means that you're not a man per se. That's what society teaches us, right? However, as we've mentioned, Marcus has a woman who wants to help him, right?
mm,
So I think that if Marcus was a little bit more open to receiving help, now this goes, I can even talk about Marcus in his childhood. What did Marcus see growing up? You understand? Did Marcus see his father enduring all of this stuff and not resting and not, asking for help from his mother or whoever so was around? Like, all right, where was his mother? What was his mother doing? And is that what he expects of Lena? You
mm,
understand what I'm saying? Men gonna reach out if they feel like they can trust you. Some men, Black men especially, they don't feel like they can rest in that feminine space when it comes to them because they feel like it'll be used against them later on in time. I've heard this time and time again, podcast after podcast. Men refuse to
mm,
express their vulnerable side because they feel as though it's going to be used against them later on if they have a disagreement or argument or if they break up. You will use his masculinity against him. You will use his manhood against him. This is why men are reluctant to open up about their fears, about their struggles, about their emotions. As a woman, I want my partner to be emotionally open with me,
mm.
but am I ready for that? That is the question. A lot of women are not ready for their man to say, "Hey, look, I'm feeling depressed or I'm feeling anxiety or I'm feeling down and I don't know what to do with myself." How are you like so some women to them, how are they supposed to respect that within themselves? Like how do they respect the man that is not able to manage his emotions, you know? And again, some men are not emotionally aware, available, intelligent. They don't manage those emotions well.
Yep.
And in turn, they will isolate themselves, close themselves off. And that makes a bigger issue in a relationship over time. That's my take over it.
Now, see, listen, right? My thing has always been I had a real tough time opening up to women. And it's you said something that I caught. His what was his childhood like? So in my house growing up with a father who didn't understand what love was because he never he grew up in the South. So off top, that crying and sensitive and all that, whining when you can't get your way and all that stuff. Yeah, he nipped all that in the bud through the door. And as I got older, I started to realize that I don't necessarily want to be Superman 24/7. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't want to have to carry the bag or the burden or I don't want to always have to be strong. And so one of the things that I look for when I'm dealing with someone is the space to be vulnerable, the space to express myself, the space to not having to be Superman 24/7. Like it's good when you can come home in the comforts of your own home and be who you are and not be judged or disrespected or called soft or taken advantage of. I seen a video this week where some woman said that 80% of women with men, if you do open up to your woman, she is definitely going to leave because she's already an emotional being. She doesn't need your emotions on top of it. And I was just like, wow, that's a big ass number.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, my thing is this: like I said, if I can't come to you, then I'm dealing with the wrong person. And with the way I move and the way I operate is this: I will always carry my weight because I don't. And the reason why a lot of men are like this because we don't want to be put in the position to have what we've accomplished being rubbed in by somebody else. Oh, you wouldn't have got here without me. You wouldn't have did that without me. I made that work for you. I did that. So with me telling me that the way my pride is, oh no. No, I'm cool. I'm gonna get out here. I'd rather struggle, starve, and bleed before I let anybody sit here and say that they responsible for my blood, sweat, and tears. Nah, I'm gonna do this on my own. Now, do we want help? Absolutely. I think Marcus has an issue of how to address getting the help. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has that space that he sees with her enough to let her in. But the burden of that is she wants to be let in. But I think the triggers in his head is, okay, if I let you in, what you really want. What you want, why all of a sudden you want to help, what's in it for you. These are things that I had to go through. I had those thoughts racing through my head. Like, people ain't just offering just to help. Like, I ain't trying to hear that. And then I had to open myself up and realize, like, you know what? Maybe you are really trying to help. Maybe your motive is to help, And as a man, we get scared when people actually want to help us because we're not used to it. We're used to people trying to take advantage. We're used to people trying to get over. Nowadays, if you help somebody and you give them the kindness of your heart, they'll think they finessed you. They'll think you tricking off to them, or they'll think they got over on you when you're really just a pure-hearted, genuine person. I had a woman that I liked, right? And through the door, I was respectful, I was loving, I was caring, I was supportive. We had a good time. Every time we linked up was a good time. I made sure of it. But then all it took was for us to get into one argument. And I never forget it. She said, I only dealt with you because at the time you had whatever I wanted, you had it at the time. But I ain't have to take this shit. And I thought about that shit. And I said, okay, well, you just completely just broke the trust. Whatever it is that we could have had, I don't look at you with that same light no more. You know what I'm saying? So my whole demeanor changed. Like, yes, because of the things that we were doing and I liked having you around, I kept her around. But the love changed. The care that I showed changed. Like, you screwed that up. So I don't feel as open to show love and do the flowers and all that stuff. I don't feel doing that stuff no more, because when I did it, I was doing it out the kindness of my heart, not because I was trying to get the panties. It was more so, I like you. Outside of getting the panties, I'm gonna get that regardless, but I like you. And so when you think you finessing and you playing and you getting over on us, our guards is already up. Now you have to work even harder to get those guards down. They ain't coming down as easily as they was, because when we first started, I gave you grace. We started off, liked you, did whatever I could to keep you happy, be different than what you used to, and then you started moving like you got over. So now you starting from the bottom again. We got to work our way back up to that. She couldn't handle that. I started her off on a certain lifestyle, and then she fucked it up. So it ain't that we don't want help. I want your help. I need your help. But if you gonna rub it in my face, or make me feel like nothing afterwards. You know how people just trying to soften me up to see what you can get out of me. How do I know that my kids do that shit to me all the time? Like, y'all ain't fooling me. Like, yeah, you in here cleaning up. Yeah, yeah, it's a reason. So I think like we be scared, man. Like I know I was scared the first time that I had a woman that genuinely opened up to me and allowed me a space to open up to her and not be judged about it. It was a shock to the system because it was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And you said that you come across men that feel like that all the time. What are some of the things that you do come across? Like, do they ever express why they feel that way? Have they ever?
No, some of the men that I'll speak to my last relationship. In that relationship with him, he was very closed off, and no matter what I did, his escape would be alcohol. You know, he would express his emotions through alcohol, and it doesn't matter. I mean, I offered therapy. I offered to go to counseling with him. um it is not like you don't have someone that can pick up the slack, that if you fall off, you have someone. Like, just go get the help that you need. But instead of getting the help that you need, you will close yourself off so much that you will ruin the relationship that you once built and once enjoyed. My friends too, men are just not built to be emotionally vulnerable, right?
Mm,
Black men, let me just be
mm,
clear. Black men are not built or raised to be emotionally vulnerable.
mm,
White men, however, are. They are taught that it's okay to cry. They're taught that it's okay to make mistakes. They're taught that it's okay to express their feelings and their emotions. And when they feel hurt, they're taught that. In Black households, we're not taught that. And you want to know why? Because 95% of Black households don't have Black men raising Black boys, they have Black women raising Black boys. And what Black women do is they force this toxic masculinity
mm,
onto these kids and make it into something that it is not. You have to man up. If a boy scrapes his leg or something, don't cry, man up, stand up. What you crying for? Only girls cry. No, humans cry, creatures cry, we all cry. It doesn't
mm,
matter their gender or their sex. Crying is natural. It's a natural reaction to feeling hurt or vulnerable. But some women who are raising Black boys or boys of color, Black and brown boys, because there's not a man available or in the home, they perceive that as, oh, I have to be both. Absolutely not. I have a client right now that I'm teaching her that if you have uncles, if you have a granddad, you got brothers, send that little boy to spend time with those male figures to learn how to be a man. You are not a man, and you cannot raise no man. A man is supposed to do that.
mm,
You can love him, nurture him, and teach him how to be, emotional and have emotions and how to maneuver that. But then again, you get some women that don't even know how to handle their own emotions. So again, we have these emotionless people raising emotional children who then grow up to be emotionless adults. And with our men, they grow up to, I'm going to say this with all the kindness in my heart, and please don't attack me, Smash, okay?
mm,
They grow up to be big ass men, child.
mm,
They grow up to be big ass men, child, because they lack emotion. They also lack accountability. Because why? Their mamas did most of the shit for them all throughout their lives.
yeah.
You understand? So some men that don't close themselves off want you to do everything. So now you have the Marcuses of the world, but then you also have the Pookies of the world.
Mm,
Right. And so then you get these men who want you to do everything. They want you to be their mama because they don't know how to do nothing for themselves because mommy did it all for me. So you
mm,
have to come in and you have to be my mother. And I know I'm probably going to get some slack like, oh, no, we don't want you to be our mother and all that other good shit. You may not. But there's a lot of men out here that lack accountability. They don't have no emotions. They don't even know what work ethic is. And they
mm,
would rather lay on a woman's couch or their mama couch, scratch their ass and their balls, and play a video game the good part of the day and not make any money. And watch that woman go out every day and do nothing. I've seen
Mm.
it.
Mm.
It's a very sad situation. But to that point, that when a man is closed off like that, I would say for me, allow that man gain his trust, right? Don't be forceful with it because that ain't the way to go with no man. Don't be forceful with it. But what you should do is offer your help. And if he doesn't accept, say, well, if you need me, I'm here. And one day he will say, you know what? Hey, listen, you got some time? I want to talk about this. This has been on my mind.
Right.
Don't berate him. Don't say, well, I keep asking you the same shit over and over and you ain't saying shit, so fuck it. No, that's not the way to go about it. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Offer your help. If he's not ready, say, okay, when you are ready, I'm here. You have to gain his trust in that area. You have not gained that trust as of yet. So don't feel bad about it. Just be there when he comes. That's it. And don't use his shit against him either.
Facts. The pressure of failing. That's a lot. That's a lot to take on. That's a lot because for me, it's always in the back of my mind that I have these kids to look after. You know, I don't want to be starting my life over again and again, just going off a whim. So all my decisions now impact everything around me. So the pressure of failing is also enough to keep a man from wanting and accepting help because I'm not big on handouts. I hate it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a charity case. I've never been the dude to make excuses. I feel like if I haven't earned it, I don't want it. Now, the man child part is true. Okay. When you grow up and your OG is handling her business, she taking care of you, it's always food on your table, food on your back. Up until you 18, that's acceptable. 18, you are able-bodied human who can get out and get a job. Okay. There's no excuse. I started working when I was 16. So they have all these after school work programs and stuff like that. So I started working when I was 16. I liked having my own things. All right. My mama wasn't buying no $300 pair of shoes or none of that stuff. So if I wanted those type of things, get up and get your own money and you can get that stuff. That's what she used to say. All right. So some dudes have it made. They 30 years old, still sleeping in their mama house, rent free. The latest iPhones, the latest rims on the car, and the mamas get comfortable with it. You have women out here who will accept this bum behavior. This is bum behavior.
I
There's
agree.
no fucking way. Your woman out here working her ass off and you laying up. What? Man, listen, as a man, I can't even allow my kids to see me. You know what I'm saying? They wake up and I'm already gone for work. You know what I'm saying? And the foundation has been set on what I expect them to get up and do. Y'all don't have to do nothing but
Mhm.
clean my house, bring home good grades, and act like you got some sense in this world. And everything you want will be good enough for you to survive. Any partnership, any type of partnership, don't treat me like I'm a motherfucking little boy. This
Mm.
is unacceptable. All right. Y'all got a full partnership. You're not gonna move around any old kind of way. I can't see here. And it's maybe it's a pride thing, but I can't see my woman outworking me. That's a different kind of feeling. I feel like a bum. Like, I feel like a bum. I feel inadequate. Like at the end of the day, I want us to be working together. With nobody doing more than the other one, but also we picking up the balance with each other and not just you by yourself. See, I'm big on having help, but if I
Mm.
necessarily can do it on my own, I will. But who wouldn't want help? Come on now. Like, feel like you don't need nobody. Bull fucking shit. I think everybody needs help. Like, nobody ever got to the top by themselves. It's easier when you got two heads moving at the same pace than you just moving by yourself. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm that strong. Now, will I absolutely get up and do it? Yes. But
Mm-hmm.
if I got somebody that's hit a light and a load, oh yeah, come on, help me out. We get tired too. That's the thing. Men get tired too. And I don't care what nobody say. It's okay to get tired. Straight up. It's okay to get tired. Now, she should definitely have
Mm-hmm.
a conversation with him, expressing to him that, hey, you're not alone. You're not by yourself. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
carry this weight alone. I'm here to help. I can start off with slow help if that's what it takes for you to get comfortable and you to get to
Mm-hmm.
know that I'm not here to be against you. I'm not going to throw your weaknesses and your flaws in your face. I'm out here paying your bills. I remember when you couldn't pay your light bill, you couldn't do this, you couldn't. That's the first thing we do is hit below the belt. So men, we tend to want to avoid that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to argue in-house. It's a whole nother thing to argue outhouse. Now your friends, your cousins, your mama, everybody else know all our problems, all our ins and outs because you done ran over there and went and told them. That's a violation of trust too. If I'm going through something, I'd rather it stay in-house. Don't go tell my business.
Mm.
Because now you done lost that trust factor with me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
you done lost that trust. You got something to say. I hear you. What you got to say?
A lot of women, we know. So one thing that I is toxic, but it's not toxic. When I was growing
Mm,
up, a lot of times I would hear my mother say, "What happens in this house stays in this house." Now that's a black saying, and a
facts.
lot goes into that. That's a lot of trauma, a lot of generational curses. We're not gonna debunk that. However, what I will say is that what happens in this house with me and my man must stay in this house. I was taught that whatever you going through in your relationships, you don't go run, carry, and tell that because when you and your man is on the good,
Yep.
you done told every Susan, Joan, and Maria all y'all business.
Yep.
Now you got your friends and your aunties and them and your grandma. Anytime homie come around, they looking at him all sideways. They got their head
Yep.
cocked to the side, sucking
Yep.
their teeth every time he pass. But you on the good with him. You on the good with him. But now these people are judging his manhood. They're judging him and they're judging the relationship. Why you still with him? Why you
Yep.
ain't leave him?
Yep.
Uh. No. If there's one thing that you take away from this episode is keep your business with your man to yourself. You ain't got to tell your friends all your business. I don't tell my friends all my business. They ain't none of their
It's,
business because I learned the hard way and I had people judging my man when I was the one tripping out. You understand what I'm saying?
yep.
I was the
Yep.
one tripping out. And now I love him today. Yesterday I ain't love him, but I love him today. And that's my man. And I'm gonna stick by him. He's a good man,
Yep.
Savannah. That's it. And now
But
people like,
but
well,
your people
bitch,
don't
just
think that.
no, that bitch. The other day you said he ain't shit, and you was leaving him. I know what I said, but I ain't mean that. And I love him, and I'm here to stay. So mind your goddamn business, bitch. No,
Yeah.
all right. So,
And I done
but to
been
that
mad. Listen,
point,
I done been mad at people that my sisters have dealt with. Dude might have been cool 2 days ago, but I remember all the bullshit she done came over here and said about dude. So now at the barbecue and the family reunion and 4th of July and shit, I'm looking at Buddy offside like, yeah, I remember what you said, man. Yeah, yeah. Now you got all the brothers and the cousins looking at you weird and shit because y'all might have squashed it. Y'all might have been fixed it. But to us, nah, nigga, you ain't fixed it. We ain't forgave just yet. Hold on.
yeah, now you got everybody in your business. Everybody don't need
Yep.
to be in your business, and that goes to why this man don't want to open up to you. Because why the fuck is his business everybody else's out business? No, if I'm opening up to you, why your mama gotta know what I just told you?
Yep.
And then, people sometimes some people mama ain't got no filter. She'd come right out and baby, I heard, sometimes you can't get it up because X, Y, and Z. Why your mama gotta know that? Ain't nobody mama gotta know that. You understand what I'm saying? So like honestly speaking, women, we gotta get it together. Your business with your man is not everybody's business.
Exactly. Don't
Not at
tell my
all.
business. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Because whenever I go through shit, it took me a lot to tell for me to tell you my business. know what I'm saying? You don't know. Man, do y'all understand that men carry 70% more than what they tell y'all they actually go through?
Of course.
That's some
Of
real
course we
shit.
know
Like,
that.
I be on a need to know basis with a lot of people. I ain't gonna even lie to you because my trust be so fucked up nowadays. I be on a need to know basis. Like, it's a lot of people that be like, damn, I ain't know you, but somebody else knew weeks ago. It's
Mhm.
because it's a need to know. I know who the big mouths is, and I know who can hold water. That's who get the
Mhm.
most out of me. It's nothing personal. But if I'm gonna
Mhm.
tell you, I might as well get on the internet, cut the podcast on, and tell the world telling you. So a
Absolutely.
lot of times, men, we have to open up. We have to. And I think more people should, but they don't know how. How does a man open up? What are some things that he can do for him to open up? Like, give us some tips. Like, how do we open up more on our own and together? How do we do that?
That's a good question because only a man will know how to open up. But at first, what I would say is you have to be in a safe space, right?
Mm,
We need to start creating a safe space for men to be able to open up, right? Creating a safe space for them to open up, creating a trusting space for them to open up. You understand what I'm saying? If they feel as though they can trust and it's safe, they will. If they have some distrust in any of these areas, they will not. Most men don't tell their friends what they're struggling with, let alone telling their girlfriend or their wife what they're struggling with. So, I mean, first, the spaces need to be created for this. However, if they're going to do that on like the go, like if they're going to just like start to do certain things, I would say get a therapist. There's something within yourself that you need to hash out where you're
mm,
feeling distrusting of everybody, right?
mm,
So, another thing that I would say is have a just that one person, right? Your buddy, your brother, just that one person. You got to have somebody. We all
yeah.
got that one person. Have that somebody. Talk to that somebody. If you're not going to go to therapy, if that's not for you as of yet, have that one person in your corner. And then also, slowly but surely, your life partner, your girl, your spouse, whoever that person is,
Mm.
make sure that you are telling them, right now, I can't, but one day I will. Right. And on the leaner side of things, make sure that you keep that door open. Make sure you're
Mm.
not belittling him. Make sure that you're not saying certain things that is antagonizing his ego, his manhood, just because he won't open up to you. Make sure that you are doing things, make sure that you are doing things that support a safe environment. Make sure you do that.
You got to put me in a space where everything that I'm saying is non-judgmental. Like, I don't feel like you judging me. I feel like you listening wholeheartedly. You're listening with the intent to help. The atmosphere is calm. It's not. I don't feel like you're gonna make fun of me in the long run or throw it back in my face. You got to give me that space where I'm actually comfortable. And if you show me that one time that I can trust you, I promise you I'm gonna open up to you gradually, bit by bit, piece by piece, because you're showing me that you can be trusted. I might throw a test run out there with you just to see if you legit or not. And if you show me that you're legit, then I open up more. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be honest, you got to be authentic with everything that you're saying. It can't be fake. You got to give me your honest opinion, but it has to be seen in a non-judgmental role. Like, you're not looking at me any differently after, I'm expressing to you what I feel inside or things like that. You know what I'm saying? Active listening is key. If I feel like you're listening to me and, the criticism is there, but the criticism is to help, I'm gonna come to you more because you're not being a yes woman. You're not being, just saying whatever. You're actually giving me feedback. Well, hey, I feel like this, but you should try it like this. just to see, them we statements are key. I love when I could tell somebody something and they say, all right, well, what are we gonna do? How do we figure this out? How do I make you more like stuff like that? Them we questions, them we sayings be super dope. The biggest thing though, boundaries. Respect my boundaries. Don't pressure it. Don't force me to open up. Don't force me to come to you. Let me come to you on my own time. Don't force your way into the space. Like if the space is gonna be the space, don't force your way into it. Like genuinely let it happen organically. That's the realest thing that I could say. Like genuinely let it happen organically, right? You got to break down those communication barriers. Like, okay, so we talked about how communication. How do you open up the dialogue for that though?
With your partner, because over time your needs change.
Yeah.
Sometimes we fall short, and there are things that we do not talk about, and we just sweep stuff under the rug. I did that in my last relationship where a lot of things was bothering me and he would keep sweeping it under the rug, and then 2-3 days later we're back to normal, and that shit stacked up.
Yeah.
It was stacking up. And so I know for certain that if you are not having these open conversations, these healthy conversations with your partner, things will pile up and it will get a little toxic, and it will get a little, not even a little, it will get toxic, and it will become like, I would say resentful in such a way that you will start resenting this person somewhere down the line. So yeah.
All right. Key takeaways from the night, man, that I want y'all to take away. Taking your partner for granted is a recipe of disaster. Sometimes it's okay to let others in, but let them in on your time. Don't force yourself. You open up when you're ready, and that's the best feeling, when you're ready. Tonight's call to action. I want all you people that's listening, right? Make a conscious effort to express appreciation to your partner for something specific. It's to show, that they are valued to you in a way that you may not have expressed before. Just do something spontaneous that they didn't expect. And I guarantee you it's going to go a long way towards your week to be, better. You might have made their week by doing the unexpected. If you never cook. See how it changed. Only if you know how to cook, though. All right. Don't be out there trying to burn the kitchen, trying to be romantic. Don't do that. My word of affirmation tonight is you are worthy of a relationship built on mutual respect and appreciation. We in this together. So don't ever feel like you by yourself. Stand with your partner. Even when you feel like you don't know your place fully, stand with your partner. All right.
Absolutely.
Now,
I agree.
Next week, I think next week gonna be a fun one. I got a topic, but I ain't finna put it out just yet. But shout out to everybody that's been listening, Coach G. Let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on.
What do I have going on right now? Oh, I do have something. So you guys can find me on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get your podcast or you listen to your podcast at is at Let Me Fix My Crown podcast. And you can get your latest there. I will also be opening back up the Let Me Fix My Crown podcast Facebook community. And that's where I get a little bit more intimate with my audience. We do book clubs, we do mentorships, we talk about all of the things that I'm not able to get into in a 30 to 45-minute convo on a podcast. Like I bring that into the community. So if you are interested in joining the Let Me Fix My Crown podcast, Smash will have the link in his show notes so that you can sign up. Yeah, that's where you can find me at.
That is. I appreciate y'all for listening. I'll see y'all next week. Y'all already know what it is. I'm out.
Thanks for listening to I'll Explain All This Later. Please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And join us again next time for more outlandish takes on relationships and the dating life.